Tony's Market in Littleton. I'll tell you about that in a minute. We're joined by Dr. Jennifer Bolton, a registered dietitian and professor at Metro State. We're so fortunate to have you.
Thank you.
And we're going to be talking a lot in the coming weeks and months because nutrition is so important. And you are going to help us understand how to make nutrition like medicine and help us avoid certain diseases. And that's what we're headed out to do. But today, we're just going to start off, right, by introducing the whole concept. We're here at Tony's Market in Littleton, and they have been gracious enough to let us come in, and you can see how beautiful they have chef-prepared foods and more, and they're an old world butchery, so they've been around 40 years, so have we. We're really kindred spirits like that, so we're excited. And you know, one of the things that we want to remind you is we do this every Tuesday, and we're going to be bringing you topics and information that you can use to make your own health choices in your health journey. We know everybody's doing it a little bit differently, and all of us are having a bit of a different journey, and so we want to bring you that objective health information that you can use. And so last week, if you missed it, you may not have seen this, but we were at University of Colorado College of Nursing, and they did a wet wrap therapy. And this is to help with dermatitis of the skin and other conditions. And so we demonstrated that, and we see how that can be effective. So if you missed it, check that out on the Facebook page, 9 Health Fair, and the 9 News page too. So we're ready to jump into nutrition. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Dr. Bolton.
Dr. Bolton,
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me today.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. You're going to show us a lot of stuff. We have a lot of food here.
Yeah, so we have lots of people who say things like, what do I do to improve my diet? Should I be eating this way or that way? And the truth is that wellness, lifestyle medicine, this idea of lifestyle medicine is that we do these things most of the time,
yeah.
Right? Maybe every once in a while we choose to eat something that's not on this table, but most of the time we're practicing good sleep, we're walking, we're getting some exercise, we're eating foods like this.
Well, I love that you bring up this lifestyle medicine because it's a new program that you all have at Metro State, and you're one of the professors there, and you do a lot of the nutrition piece,
Yes.
teaching that, and that is so important. They say it's like 90% of really everything that we can do to be healthy is really about what we put in our body. That old saying, you are what you eat.
You are what you eat.
Yeah.
And we have a lifestyle medicine program at MSU Denver. We also have a new master's degree in nutrition, so there's lots going on for us.
That's really great.
Yeah, it's really exciting.
So all the food, you have brought us things that we should all try and eat. Tell us why.
So I'm going to start over here, and we're going to look at all the berries. When we look at strawberries and blueberries and raspberries and any of your berries, you hear blueberries talked about as superfood.
Yes.
Blueberries are full of antioxidants, but so are all the other berries. These are beautiful fresh berries,
Yes.
but we're in Colorado. And so in Colorado in the wintertime, if you want to buy your berries frozen, large bag of organic berries for $10, stick them in the freezer, and then you always
you can
have
just get
them.
a few out every once in a while.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
These are gorgeous. These are what we were going to make our smoothie with. But these aren't always available to you. Sometimes it's Friday and you haven't been to the grocery store since Monday. Have your backup in your freezer.
You know
right?
me, right? That
Yeah.
You just said
Yeah.
that what I do.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know everybody, right?
Yeah.
Nobody, very few people have the time to shop daily.
Now,
So-
if you have questions for us, feel free to shout out. Stephanie is here, and she will shout out the questions, and we'll do our best to answer them. Dr. Bolton has a lot of the answers, but if we don't know for some reason, we will research it for you, and we'll put it in the feed. So go ahead and give us your questions. We talked about the berries. We have a banana here, too. I see
I'm
them.
going to tell you 2 more things about the berries.
2 more things about the berries.
Full of vitamin C, full of fiber. There are a lot of studies that say that if we eat berries daily, it prevents these neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's, dementia. There's something called the Mind Diet that we can post a few articles
Ooh, we're
about.
going to do, just as a tease, we're going to do that diet.
That is our last week of our cooking segment.
Last week in February.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
okay, keep
so
going.
these are amazing. Your bananas kind of got a bad name.
They did.
Right?
They're like called the carb of the fruit world or something.
Yeah, so bananas are great for if I know that today I'm going to have my smoothie and then I'm going to go work out, or I've got a long walk ahead of me. I've got a lot of activity to do this morning. I get extra carbohydrate from my bananas in addition to potassium, in addition to fiber.
Yeah.
So making sure that we don't give bananas a bad name.
Okay.
They also sweeten things up.
Yeah.
So we can sweeten up our smoothie, we can sweeten up our mason jar oats that we're
Okay.
going to make later with something like
Okay,
a
so
banana.
all these other foods you say these are the foods we should be eating. So
Yes.
tell us a little bit about these. We've got Brussels sprouts.
I'm going to start with these
Talk
Brussels
about a bad
sprouts.
name.
Yeah.
They get a bad name,
Although
don't they?
Brussels sprouts have gone through some sort of rebranding, and everybody now has them on their menu.
That's right.
Brussels sprouts, when you take your Brussels sprout, you're going to want to peel off the outside. You're going to want to cut off the bottom. And if a guy is this big, you're going to want to cut him in half so he roasts pretty quickly.
Okay.
These Brussels sprouts full of vitamins, minerals, fiber. They're going to keep you full. When you cook them in the oven with a little bit of olive oil and either non-salt seasoning, something like Mrs. Dash, or a little tiny sprinkle of salt or garlic,
They
you are
turn
going
out
to get
great.
a beautiful caramelized flavor
Yeah.
from those.
Okay, what else do we have here? We have onions, it's
So
garlic.
we have onions and garlic, and we tell people if things have a lot of color, they have a lot of antioxidants. Onions and garlic don't have color, but they still have a lot of antioxidants.
So these are the exceptions.
Yes, and
Always
they
are
add
exceptions.
flavor without adding sodium, and they're easy
If you
peasy.
ask me, every good recipe starts with onion and garlic.
With garlic and onion.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I'm coming to your house for dinner tonight.
Okay, deal.
We've got a sweet potato. This sweet potato, I'm going to encourage you when you get home from work, if you're going to eat a sweet potato, I want you to throw however many in the oven that will feed your
Okay.
family or feed yourself. And I want you to give them the full hour to cook in the oven.
Okay.
I don't have to do anything to them, but poke them with a fork. I'm going to throw them in the oven and I'm going to let them roast for a full hour. The flavor you get as these sugars in here caramelize, oh, so
I
delicious.
do love a baked sweet potato. Now, is it bad to put it in the microwave? Because I've done that before.
No, put it in the microwave. It just speeds up the cooking.
Yeah,
You just don't get
okay.
all the caramelization. You get all kinds of beta carotene, fiber, and delicious flavor. Peel them and chop them up into big chunks. You can use them in place of meat and things like tacos. You get a corn tortilla of these. You use some of your Mexican spices to
Oh,
put on these
yeah,
as you
okay.
roast them, and throw them into your
Okay, that's a great
corn
idea. That's a
tortilla
great
instead of meat.
idea. And then we have some beans here. You say that's really
Yes.
important. So
our
the
beans,
pinto beans.
right? These are pinto beans, but we can use kidney beans, pinto beans, you name it, we can use it. Black beans, all fantastic. These are
I like
so
garbanzo
inexpensive.
beans a lot. Yeah,
They're delicious. But these dry beans, so inexpensive.
They are.
You have to soak them overnight.
Yeah.
If you want the quick beans, canned beans, rinse them off, add them to
you know
your
what I got?
recipes.
I got an Instapot. That changes the life.
Yeah,
Changes my world.
it's a game changer.
So
it's a game changer.
you could do beans in 10 minutes.
Yes, yes.
Okay, but that's another day.
Okay.
So what else do we have here?
So what we did is bring some things that people ask me about all the time. I've got a chia seed, I've got some flax seed.
Okay.
And people say, oh, I've heard about how great flax seed, chia seed are. You're going to get some omega-3 fatty acids from those. You're going to get some fiber, some antioxidants. Your chia seed is so great in your mason jar oatmeal.
Okay.
Because it soaks overnight, it absorbs all the liquid, and it creates this really creamy mason jar oatmeal that's
Okay.
delicious.
Gosh, you're really building to this. That's
Yeah,
what we're gonna
I
do
know.
last. Is we're gonna show you how to make mason jar overnight oats that are delicious and everyone will love. So
Yes.
in the meantime, you have some more
Almonds.
nuts here.
So, and really any nuts are going to give you healthy fat. They're going to give you fiber, B vitamins. So your nuts are great.
Good.
Understand portion control with your nuts, though. Understand that if you fill up your hand, that is one portion. So give me your hand. There's your portion.
That's
of
all I
nuts.
get?
That's all you get.
Come on, that's one mouthful.
Now,
No?
if you are male and you have a really big hand, then you need to count them out. You don't get
Oh.
to fill your old big paw.
Oh, so an average hand.
Average
Okay,
hand.
got it.
Average hand.
Got it.
We
Okay.
want to teach people things that they're able to do without counting out the size of your hand. You can count out your nuts and then see what that looks like in your hand.
If I were counting, how many do I get?
You get anywhere from 12 to 18 depending on the type of nut.
Do we have a question?
Someone had asked, I was going to ask while we were kind of on the garlic, but someone had asked about the Mediterranean diet. Is that really the best diet, most well-rounded diet?
So the Mediterranean diet is based in lots of fruits and vegetables, fatty fish, and beans and nuts and
Right.
seeds. Activity is
Yeah.
discussed in the Mediterranean diet, and then a little wine is also in the Mediterranean diet.
That's why I like it.
Yeah. So when we're talking about all of these foods, they all fit into the Mediterranean diet. The Mediterranean diet has evidence for a long, long, long time about prevention of cardiovascular disease, decreased risk of cancer, even in people who are above their ideal body weight.
Oh, okay.
So, you know,
So it is a
Mediterranean-
good, you would recommend it.
It's fantastic.
Okay.
But it really is a basis of healthy eating. It's not a diet, it's a
Yes.
lifestyle.
And that's really what you're talking
It's a
about here
lifestyle.
too, right?
Yes.
Is the Mediterranean
Yes.
lifestyle
Lifestyle.
diet or eating plan, and this
Yeah.
is another eating plan.
What are foods that you should try to have in your house most of
Okay,
the time
let's
so you
get
can
through
throw
them all
some
here.
things together? Okay, so we've got pumpkin here.
Yep.
Pumpkin is going to be for our oats, but we can really add so we can add our leftover sweet potato from the night before into our oats. Nut butters, we talked about nuts, but you can use nut butters in the morning. You can use nut butters at lunch. Again, vitamins, minerals, fiber, and some protein and healthy fat there.
Great.
And then these are our oats. Great way to start your day
Yeah.
with some whole grain carbohydrate, lots of fiber, B vitamins, and feeling like this lunch or this breakfast is going to stay with you for a really long time. So
Okay.
I rode for an hour this morning on, obviously it's snowing, so I rode on my inside bike, and then I had one of these, and I'm still full. I'm good.
That's great.
Yeah.
You get like kudos for doing your exercise already this morning, and
That's why my bike's in the basement.
Yeah.
I gotta be able to get it done even when there's 6 inches of snow
that's
outside,
right. That's right. Now, one of the things you mentioned to us is about cooking in large batches or batch cooking, because none of us have time to, do all this every day, like you said.
Right.
How do we do that?
So if there's a day that you have more time, then cook extra. If you're cutting an onion and you feel like you could cut 2 onions, cut 2 onions. If you're roasting sweet potatoes, if you're peeling them, chopping them into large chunks, why not peel and chop into large chunks 4 or 5 of them? If you're cutting tomatoes, if you're cutting bell peppers,
Okay.
cut them
So a
ahead
little
of time.
trick.
Cut them ahead of time, and then roast your vegetables. So if you're roasting your Brussels sprouts, you're roasting your pieces of sweet potato, roast on a day you're less busy, save them, and then
This is a key, yeah.
either put them back into your oven to roast them and heat them, or take this plastic top off, and then you've got your Pyrex dish to stick in your microwave and heat up all of your roasted vegetables.
Yeah, no, that's a great tip. So just cut more, do more at one time, save you time.
Do more on the nights where you have more time,
Okay.
so you have your backup.
Now we're going to get to the oatmeal that you've been talking about all morning. So we're excited to learn how we're going to do this.
All right,
So this is a tip for breakfast.
the basis of our oats. So last night I did this. I set the timer for 3 minutes.
Okay.
I was able to do the whole thing, including I did an apple cinnamon one this morning. So when I did it last night, I did it all under 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
3
That's
minutes.
pretty good.
So
That's pretty good.
anybody
So
who says they don't have 3 minutes, I'm not challenging. Right?
you don't believe it?
I don't believe it. I don't
I'm
believe
very,
it.
very busy.
Everybody has to be.
Okay.
So I'm going to take about a half a cup of oats and put it in my jar.
Okay, she's a professional, so she knows that's half a cup. I would need my little cup measure,
that's
right?
about what it looks like when I make it and I measure it,
Yeah,
right?
I would need
And
my little
then
measuring cup.
I take between a half and 2/3 of a cup of some type of milk. I'm
Yeah.
using almond milk today.
You just make sure they're all covered for sure,
Yeah,
right?
and I want to give you a little pro tip. Give it a little stir.
Stir, there you go.
Because if you don't, or if you use less milk, if you like less milk, I like it a little more milk in there. But if you like less milk and you don't stir it, then your oats are going to be stuck down there. They don't get to spend all the
Okay,
time
so
in the milk.
just give it a little stir,
Give it a
and
little
then what?
stir, and then I'm going to add a little yogurt to it.
Yep.
Try not to wear it. So I'm going to do about a half a cup of yogurt. I really like Greek yogurt in here. It gives it extra protein.
Now, does it have flavor? Does it matter what kind of yogurt you're using?
I generally use a plain Greek yogurt
Okay.
because I don't want the added sugar.
Right.
But if you like a little sweeter, you can use a little more. You can use one of these flavored yogurts.
Okay.
I want to caution people against using the yogurts that have a high fructose corn syrup or the fruit on the bottom. Read your ingredients, and it shouldn't have any sweetener added to it. It should be the
Okay.
fruit and the yogurt, and that's it.
Okay.
Okay. So I've got my yogurt in there. I'm going to use a teaspoon of my chia seeds. Okay.
Wow.
Teaspoon of my chia seeds in there.
Now, what is that going to taste like?
So these chia seeds are going to puff up and get it really creamy and delicious.
Oh, they're going to get bigger, huh?
Yeah.
Soak up that milk.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So then I'm just going to leave it in my refrigerator overnight.
You're done.
5 hours minimum.
Okay, 5 hours.
5
so
hours
you gotta
minimum.
stick that in 5. And is
Yeah.
this the right portion for me to eat in the morning?
This is, if I put in all of these things, this is about 150 to 200 calories, depending on what type of milk you use. So one of the reasons I use the almond milk is because it's about 30 to 50 calories. The unsweetened one is 30 to 50 calories per cup, right? And so then I can use more milk and save my calories for my oats and all the
I
things
see.
I want to add to
I see. Okay, we have a
I
question.
just have a couple questions. So we use overnight oats. Can you use like regular oatmeal if you have regular oatmeal?
Yeah, so we used steel cut oats. Those tend to have a little more bite to them,
Okay.
a little more texture to them when they've soaked overnight. If you like it to be a little softer, use rolled oats. Do not use quick cook oats.
Okay, no quick cooks, but other than quick
Yes,
cooks, other than
don't
that,
use quick cook because it doesn't have as much fiber. We've taken away a lot of the good stuff in
Okay.
order to let it cook really quickly. So the reason we're doing these overnight is so we get all the fiber.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good tip. Good tip. Yes.
And then I like my oats warm.
Yes.
Do you warm it up? That's my struggle with overnight oats.
So
Like it's cold.
try it cold, and you will be surprised at how creamy and delicious it is. If you're gonna do it warm, I would not add the yogurt. I would add the milk, and I would add the oats. And then if you're really pressed for time, then I want you to add in your additives the night before.
Okay.
So I've got things like cinnamon that I add in here.
This is
the
me. I
night
need this all
before.
done, so I just take this
I
in the
do
car.
too. I do too. So cinnamon to taste, usually about a half a teaspoon,
Okay.
right? And then
You said we could put pumpkin in there?
yes,
Is that right?
Isn't that delicious? We're
I
gonna
don't
put some
know. I
pumpkin.
would
It's
never have
so
thought
good.
of that.
It is so good. So we now have our oats, our plain Greek yogurt, our unflavored almond milk, and we're gonna add about half a cup of pumpkin in there.
Half a cup. Wow.
Yeah. But if you, half a cup gives you a really strong pumpkin flavor. If you say, ooh, that was too much pumpkin for me,
Cut back.
yeah, cut back to a quarter cup.
Yeah, I mean, the most important part is that, like you said, this is a lifestyle, something that you're going to do. You're going to eat it.
Yes.
And you're going to enjoy this, because if you don't, you're probably not going to do it for very long.
So we can add so many things. We can add coconut, mango,
Oh, yeah.
pineapple,
Yeah.
and do like
Now
a
that sounds
tropical
good.
flavor.
Mhm.
So we took our base of oats, milk, yogurt, chia seeds, and if we wanted to add a teaspoon of honey or some other sweetener, we could.
Yeah.
And then we add whatever we want. We add pumpkin, cinnamon, and vanilla. We add cinnamon and apples. We add berries. Our delicious berries can go in there.
Now, is this
peanut
something-
butter and banana? We can
Oh,
add
I
peanut
love
butter and
that.
banana
That's one
in
of my
there.
favorite things, peanut butter and banana.
And then we don't need to add any sweetener. If we got a ripe banana and we mushed it up with a fork real quick, tossed it in there.
Okay.
What if you want to feed your whole family?
Stick it in there.
Then you just, as many people are going to eat breakfast, you multiply the recipe, stick it in there. It does just as well in the bowl overnight as it does in the jar.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Now, are we going to have some of these recipes that we can share and
Yes.
have for people? Because,
Yes.
I mean, I didn't write it all down, and I'm sure
Yes.
you guys didn't either, but that sounds like a really good plan.
Yeah.
The other thing you've done for us is we have a smoothie here,
Yeah.
and mine looks delicious. I'm going to drink it in just a minute. But tell us what another good breakfast, right? You can get some of these good foods all in a smoothie.
Really quick, I did a cup of almond milk in there. I did about a cup and a half of berries, and I like to use the frozen berries on this as well. I can use fresh, whatever's left over in my refrigerator, but I can use frozen too. And then that gives me, I don't have to add ice to my smoothie
Right.
because I've got
It's
my
nice
frozen
and
berries.
frozen already.
And then I added anywhere from a half a cup to a cup of my unflavored Greek yogurt, and I added a tablespoon of chia seeds or a tablespoon of flax seeds, and then I blended it up. Mine also, I noticed I had a little spinach, so I threw some spinach in mine.
Yeah, I
Mine
told her no
looks-
spinach in mine.
She didn't want spinach. I'm doing a little spinach, so
So-
mine looks a little darker.
So
than
cheers.
hers.
This
Cheers.
is great.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. That's
Good.
really good.
Yeah. If you want it a little sweeter, you could add a half a banana.
Okay. We have so many tips here for you guys. Okay. So this is just the beginning. We actually are going to start a 4-part series, as you mentioned, with Dr. Bolton. We're going to be at the Cook Street Culinary Arts School, and we are going to be talking about recipes and meals that you can eat to help you prevent things like heart disease. That's our first one, right?
Heart disease is the first one. February is Heart Disease Prevention Month.
So it's perfect.
Yes.
Cancer, how do you prevent cancer? How do you prevent diabetes? It's a big epidemic right now, and we're, lot of us are overweight, and so this would help us. And then those neurological diseases that you talked about, like Alzheimer's and dementia. So that'll be our final week. And again, we're going to be doing that all in February on Fridays. So catch us there. I think you'll learn a lot. In the meantime, we're going to sign off from here. We're again at Tony's Market. They've been so gracious to help us
All this beautiful
all this food.
Oh, and we forgot our salmon.
Well, how did we do that?
I don't know. We got so
Don't forget the
excited about our
salmon,
veg-
everybody.
The salmon
And green
here,
tea.
wild caught, delicious farm-raised salmon, or excuse me, wild caught salmon. This is full of omega-3s, and all I do is add a little lemon to this, put it in a foil packet, put it in my grill.
Oh,
or
that's
on
so
my-
easy.
In my oven.
That is so easy.
Really fast and
More
easy.
to come with Dr. Bolton. You are full of tips, and we really appreciate it. And you know the science behind it, and that was what makes it really important for all of us to know. So, thanks so much, and you'll be
Thank
joining
you.
us again. We're going to sign off from here. Thank you so much for joining us.